Hi guys, it's Katie again from Bella Creativa, and this is part 4 of my mini album. It is a haunted house Halloween mini album, and it's following a bit of a storyline, sort of storybook theme to it. So I just have a couple more pages to put some pockets and things on, but just as a reminder, this is a set of PNG files that you can use on a Cricut. You just need to upload them. There's a little instruction manual that comes with it. And it is also a set of PDF files that you can print out on a regular printer and cut by hand. So you have two options there. I use my Cricut, and I use the print then cut option. I print onto cardstock paper. It's 180 grams. It's as much as my printer can handle before it gets jammed all the time. So that's what I use. In Australia, I get this brand from Spotlight. You also get this little handy dandy reference guide, which has got an image of each of the files on here, so you can decide which ones you might want to cut out and use, if not all of them. And I also refer to this during the tutorial so that I can show you which ones I've cut out and used. I keep forgetting to mention that this is available from my Etsy store, and I'll put a link in the description box below if you're interested. I'll also put a list of all of the pages that I cut out and how many of each one I cut out, so that you can just refer to that. You don't have to madly write everything down if you're following along with me. So we have this is part 4, and in part 4 we have a couple more pages left to do. So part 1 we made the album cover, part 2 we put the pages in, part 3 we did some of the pockets and pages, and this is the last one before I then put in all my inserts and things. So I've got some bits and pieces here. We'll do the inside cover today, and inside front cover, inside back cover, but we'll just skip along to where we were up to. So the last page we did was this one here. We've got a little flip here and a little gravestone corner pocket. We've got some doors to our house, which is also a pocket, and then inside we've got some other doors here. This is just a fun page. So we've got that one here. All of the pages are pocket pages, and they all have an insert like this. So that's this album I'm doing is 6 pages, but there is an option for the 4-page one as well. So today we are going to put in a belly band here and do a little apothecary cabinet, which should be fun. So what I've got, what I've cut out is let's start with the skeleton. So we'd already cut out this page because we used the zombie pocket. So if we just cruise along to pocket 5, the zombie and the skeleton. We already used the zombie, and today we're going to use the skeleton belly band. And then I also have cut out pocket 6, the apothecary cabinet, and all the little tiny bottles to go in it. And we had already also cut out the pockets 9 doors, and we should have had left these 2 little doors here that we're going to use for our apothecary cabinet. So that's for this page. So let's put that to the side. And so I have already scored my little tabs here on this little guy, and he's ready to go in. So I just used my little embossing tool and scored along the lines manually. You can use a scoreboard if you like. So let's just stick him in, because this is nice and easy. Nice easy start. None of it's hard. So I'm just folding over those little tabs, and I've already inked around the edges a little bit just to get rid of the white edges, and I'm just going to stick him down. I'm just going to guess the center, and that looks pretty good. And then I have got somewhere I've got so much stuff around me. I've just got this little Chuck's wipe, it's dry. I'm just using it to clean up the gluey mess. It's a little head popped up. And then we can pop some little inserts in there. And in the last video, video 3, I showed you some of the inserts that I'd already made. So that's that one. Easy peasy. We'll leave him to dry. Now the apothecary cabinet, let's put this to the side, is also a pocket. So I've got these little tabs here that I've already scored and folded in. And then these are the 2 little doors that we had left from when we cut out that file before. So I want to insert these. So they've got little tabs here. And I've also printed on the back of these when I cut that out, so that when it opens up, it looks all right. Might put a little ink on here. Completely optional, of course. Okay, that'll do. So I'm going to line these up. Might put these little bits out here for a second. Oh, and I might also just slide my cutting mat underneath because I'm going to line up my little doors here. I don't remember which way they go, so I don't suppose it really matters where they're going to go. Like something like that. Maybe over a little smidge like that. That looks pretty good. And I'm going to draw a line here, which is, I'm going to make a cut there, but I'm going to make sure that I cut it on the other side of the line, not on the line. Whoops, that's a wobbly one. Let's line that up again. Okay. And then I'm going to get my little craft knife. And on the inside of that line, I'm going to make a little slit, and I'm hoping this is going to work out okay. Alright, from here to here. You know what, if it doesn't, I can just print it out again. There you go. Now, if I could find an eraser amongst this pile of stuff, I could just get rid of that line. And I'm going to try and slide this in here. Oh, I didn't press hard enough. I've been so careful. Let's see. There we go. Just needs a little... I can't see my line at all. Don't do this at home. Okay, that seems alright. I'm going to try and get this little guy in here. And fold that tab over to the inside like that. I think I want to put a little ink along there. Ooh, that was a lot of ink. Oh well, that's fine. Okay, so that one sits there like that. So then let's just try this one again. Yeah, I'm happy with where I cut that one. I'm just going to spin it around. And I cannot see. So it's not perfectly lined up with the edge of the cabinet, but it does not matter because who would know? There's only a little squiffy bit out. So I definitely recommend that you try your... line up your doors first. Don't just cut along the edge because it doesn't really work. Alright, let's hope that my doors line up. Alright, and I've got a gap. No matter how hard I've tried, I've got a gap. Never mind, it doesn't matter. I can live with it. So on the back here, we're just going to glue these down. You can take more time than me and try and get it more accurate, but I am trying to be quick about it so you don't get bored. Alright, that one and this one, I don't think it matters. Alright, I've got glue everywhere. I want to make sure they're stuck down there close. It's a little pocket. In fact, let's fold up our little pocket now. Oh no, we can't. They don't join. Okay, there we go. Now, my thoughts for the pocket for the doors. I've got some, and I got them out, and I don't know where I put them. I've got some. Here we go. Little Velcro dots. These are little ones. They are, if I can get them out. They are 3/8 of an inch or 0.9 centimetres, and if you're in Australia, I got these from Spotlight. Otherwise, they're Velcro brand. Okay, so I'm going to put the hooky one on the inside of the door, like so, and another hooky one on the other door. Like that. Okay. Now, was that a good idea? Because I do also have these little things here, and I was thinking about putting those on. So maybe I should put those on first. I could put them in the centre. Can I get it off? I can. Okay. I've got, this is my leather punch, and it's a great punch because it does little holes and big holes. Pretty technical. Little holes and big holes. Okay. And I'm going to try and put one here and then here. Okay. So let's start with this side. And then I'm going to put one of these in. Probably not going to look too pretty on the inside, but I'll pop that there like that. And then I'll put the hooky thing on top of that maybe. It's going to be a bit bulky, isn't it? Let's try it. And then I'll put this one on top of this one, like so, and close it up. Oh, that's okay. I like that. Okay, so I get this hooky one off here. Pop it back over here for a second and put a hole in here. And then poke this little thing through. Now, I can't remember where I got these or when. I probably bought them on Temu, something like that. And I don't know they're like, I don't know where they came from or when I bought them. So I'm sorry about that. An option though, if you didn't want to use those, is you could just put some little sticky things on here. They would look cute. I might do that on my other doors or my gate. Bit of fun. Okay, so I'm going to pop that hook one on there, and then the sort of see-through one on here, like so, and then fold that over. Haha! Brilliant. Okay, so let's pop those back in here before I lose them in the piles around me. And I'll move this out of the way for a second. No, I'll just leave it there. I'll just leave it there. I'll need it again in a minute. Okay. And then I'm just going to glue this on here. Now, it's going to flap up like this for a while, but it'll settle down once everything's sort of you know, sitting in here, and you know, it'll bend into shape. So put some glue on each of those and press it down. Now, one thing I have not mentioned the whole time I've been making this album is the printer that I use, and maybe some people might need to know. I've got an Epson inkjet. It is a, let me turn around and have a look at it, ET2750, and I really like the Epson inkjets because they're really inexpensive to refill the ink with. And they print edge to edge, you know, borderless if you need to, which is also really good. Okay, there we go. So the other thing I forgot to mention, I can't remember, I forgot. It'll come back to me. All right, now for our apothecary cabinet, on that page that we were looking at, it had lots of little cutout bottles and a little cap. And they're small little bottles, and my Cricut cut them out, no problems. And then I wanted to make them special, so I've just stuck them on a bit of plastic for now, but I put a little bit of clear embossing powder on them and, you know, heated them up so they go all shiny. And then on the back I've put glue dots. They don't look very nice on the back. They're not removable glue dots, but you know, once you've handled them a little bit, they're not quite so sticky. So I'm going to put my little bottles on my apothecary cabinet. So I'll just pull them off this bit of plastic, and hopefully they stick on here, but they're not so sticky that you couldn't pull them off and play with them if you wanted to. So I'm going to put some in here. I like this one. This is the fun bit. I was so looking forward to doing this. I'll put you up there. That little cat might look nice sitting on top or on here or something as well. So anyway, how fun is this? So I'm just going to put some little bottles here. I might put one on its side. This one's fallen down. I need some more orange ones. Here's a little orange one. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. It's got a little skull in it. And so I can fill up my apothecary cabinet with lots of little bottles, and I can also put some under here in the cabinet. So let's go and put some in here as well. I think you get the idea. And maybe on a bit of a funny angle. So much fun. There you go. Anyway, so I'll keep doing that off camera, because you don't want to watch me do that all day. So there's my little apothecary cabinet, and I've got all my little bottles left to fill it up. So that's that page. So cute. So fun. And this is also a pocket, so things can go in behind there. And as I say, it will eventually sit flat. I will make it. Alright, so now we're just doing the back. We're just going to do this simple waterfall. So let's do this last page, and then we can do the covers. So for this one, I cut out, now I don't know how many I'll actually use, but I cut out the waterfall flip. If I find it. here. There's a file, it's called Waterfall Flips, and I cut out 4 of those, but before I cut them out, I printed on the back first, then I flipped it over, and then I printed this on the front. So, and I did 4 of them, and we'll see how many, so that means I've got 8 flips. So we'll see how many I'm going to be able to use. And then I cut out a piece of black cardstock, and it's just a little squiff smaller in width than my waterfall piece. And so, and then I have scored along that fold on all of them so that they fold over. And then I'm just going to glue them down. So this is just a standard waterfall. I do this all the time because everybody likes waterfalls. So then I'm just going to line this up on here. Of course it's black on black so you can't see it, and also neither can I. Just going to make sure that that's along the top and press that down like so. And then we flip that one up, and then we can line the next one up underneath it. I'm going to fold that over, and as you can see I've printed bats, and my bats are upside down. And then I'm going to line this up along here like so. Like that. Press that one down. And I just want to make sure when they fold up that they line up, and it doesn't really. I don't know why. Let's have a look. It's just like a millimetre out. It's probably my folding. Okay, so I'm just going to keep doing that. I'm just going to need to be conscious about how many I can get on my page. But this piece of cardstock is shorter than my page. So even if I fill up this whole piece, it'll still fit on there. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep gluing those on. And then I will be right back. Okay, so here's my little waterfall. I managed to get all 8 on there, and when I flip it over, I do have this little extra bit of cardstock, so I'm just going to trim that off because I don't want that there. So I'll just use my craft knife and trim it off. Don't need that anymore. And then I can flip them all back again and bring my book back, and I'm going to place it on my book like this. But I was wondering about how to keep them from flopping around. So I've got this little zombie dude here. Now he, oh excuse my squeaky chair. My little zombie dude came on one of the ones that I've just recently cut out. So let me see if I can find him. Where are you, little zombie dude? Here, he's on the small flip page. So I cut out the small flip page for the front inside cover, and he was on there. So I'm going to use him because he's nice and tall. And I'm going to use some Velcro dots again. Whoops, got stuff flying around everywhere. My chair's squeaking. Sorry about that. I gotta get a new chair. I hate this chair. Okay, so then I got my little, I've decided that I'm not going to stick this down until I put this little guy down. So what I've done is I cut this little piece of cardstock. It is 4 centimeters long and 1 inch wide, and then I've scored it down the middle and folded it over, and so that I can use him as a little flip. So I'm going to stick him to one side of this little flipper dipper. So I'll put some glue on the back of him, and he is also double-sided because he's on the flip page, so that's good. And then I'm just going to press this on here like so. Clean up the glue. I've got glue everywhere. I've got glue everywhere. Okay, and I can see that a little bit's poking out the side, so I'm going to just try and trim that off like so. That side, and a little tiny bit on that side like that. Alright, Alright, so then I'm going to glue him down on here, and I want to make sure that he can reach the top, the very top one here. So if I do it like that, it seems pretty good. Alright, so let's have a look. How far from the top are we? I reckon about 1.5 centimeters is good. So I'm just trying to 1.5 centimeters. I'm going to put a little mark there, and then 1.5 centimeters. That's about right. Okay, so then I'm going to put some glue on the back of here. And I can't see my marks. So where's one and there's one. Right, and then I need to come over a little bit. That seems pretty good. And press that down. So just going to make sure it's stuck down. Like this. And this. This. My page is a bit lumpy because of my apothecary cabinet. Okay, so then I'll flip those over, and then I'll get my little guy here, and I'm going to figure out where I'm going to put him. Actually, if I butt him up like tight underneath, that's pretty good. I like that. So, is he pretty well centered? Yeah. So I've got him tight on this bottom one. So let's hold this bottom one down. Hold him down, and then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on here. And press that on there. Okay, so then when I pull those back, and he flips over like that. And then I'm going to use my little Velcro again. I love these. And we'll put the fluffy bit on the back of his head. Right there. And then I'll put the not fluffy bit on top of it like that. And then we'll flip him up and press him down. And I can get rid of these. There we go. I'll give this a little. And of course that will also flatten out, and he won't look like he's had too much to eat. Now, there we go. So we've got this little bit here. Now, if you're offended by that, you could easily put a sign or something over the top. The private property sign covers it up perfectly, and you wouldn't see it until there. So I might go back and do that later, put a private property sign on there. So there, that's that one done. Oh my god, last page. So now we've just got the inside covers. Might as well start with the back cover because we're here. So I've cut out a gravestone page. So we've got, let's move these out of the way. I've got a gravestone page, the gravestone pockets. Pockets 3 gravestones. I've cut out one of those. I've got a long witch pocket, which is pocket 8. And then this is one of the base pages. This one in particular is base page 9, but you could use any of the base pages that face this way. Actually, doesn't even matter because I've also printed on the back with some of the background papers so that it's not white. So this time we're using as a flip and not as a pocket. So we need to cut off this one and this one. And I'm trying to decide whether to leave that strip there or not. I might leave it there because I might put some of the lace down those. So we just need to cut those two off. So that's nice and easy. Let's do that. So I'm just going to use my craft knife and my ruler and line it up. It's hard to see in this light. About there. Cut that one off. And cut this one off. And then I just use this little bit of crafty foam stuff. Oops! And my embossing tool, and I'm just going to, might be better like this. I'm just going to score along just this tab, I think. Yeah, I'm just going to do this one, I think. So just scoring along there. I'm doing it lightly, but I'm doing a few because if I do it too heavily, I just stick a hole in it. Okay, so that's going to go on here, like so. And then we have gravestone. Now I forgot to do the scoring on this one, so I'll just quickly score this about like that. And along the bottom tab as well. Don't know how even it is. And then I can fold that over. Like so. And I also need to do the scoring on this one because I also forgot this. I try to work ahead so I'm not wasting your time, so I do apologise. But sometimes you just forget. On this side. I also haven't done the inside front cover one, so there's that. And then this long one from here to here and score. Fold and fold. Okay, I'll just give that a nice sharp, make sure it's a nice sharp crease. Alright, and then I'm just going to glue this down straight away. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on there and bring this long tab in and give it a press down, get rid of the excess glue. So that one's all ready to go. And I'll glue these two down. I'll just give that one a bit of a sharp crease. Put a glue drop there. And that pocket's ready to go. So then this one here, might just do a quick ink, whoops, along here and here. And we're just going to glue that onto the back page like so. So let's put some glue along here. The back inside cover, I should say. And I'm just going to, I'm trying to line it up with these pages so that it doesn't poke out unnecessarily. Give that a press. And then I'm going to put a corner pocket here. So put a corner pocket gravestone here. And pop that on here. So I'm thinking about, on all my pages where I've got this long skinny bit, I'm thinking about putting some lace there. So along here, on all my pages, thinking about putting some lace there. I've already got some there, but I think it would be okay. Well, I'll see what it looks like. Okay, so then we flip over, and on this side I'm going to put this pocket here. So let's do that. Oh, I'm sorry about the barking dogs. There we go. Make sure that folds over. Lovely. Press it down. Whoops. Wipe that bit of glue up. And so then we can pop something in there, and I don't have a pocket on this side, but I could use something as a little, pop one of these embellishments on there. I've got glue stuck to my fingers, and that could be a little tuck spot, or I could put another pocket there, but I think it will just be a tuck spot. So that's that one, and this one will flatten out nicely too after a little minute. Might even put some lace along here. I just want to put lace everywhere. Okay, let's go to the inside front cover, and I'll show you. I've pretty much got the exact opposite of that. So I've got the other witch's long pocket, so exactly the same as what we've got on the inside cover. Then I've got the other gravestone from the one from that, and then I cut out the small flip page, but before I did, I printed on the back, and then I've cut that one out. And then this is base page number 1. So I cut out base page number 1, but before I cut it out, I printed on the back so that it wasn't white. So, and we're just going to do exactly the same thing. So I'm going to cut this tab off here and this tab off here. This flip is going to come out, so from this side like so. So I'm going to cut that one off because we don't need that. And then I'm just going to score and fold in those little edges. So I'll just go and do that off camera because it's basically exactly the same as what we did on here. We just have an extra flip. And then we'll put it all together. Alright, so I'll just be back in a sec. Okay, so I am back, and I have just gone ahead and done that scoring, cut those edges off the top and bottom there and the side of the flip. So we are so close to the end now. So I'm going to, just wondering about that one. Might have to put some lace there. Okay. I'm going to stick this one down anyway. This is going to go here. And I'm lining it up there. Trying to line it up again with the top and bottom of that page. Like so. And then I'm going to pop the small flip in here. So let's do that. I'm just going to pop it down there. Why not? Maybe come down a bit. Down, 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 down. Okay, that's that one. And then on the inside here, I wanted to put this one, but I think I need to put a little bit of lace there, but you know what? I might put it on later and just do that little section. Let's do that. All right, so I'm just going to pop this down here. Like that. And then with my little bit of lace, whoops, if I can find an end, I can just glue it in under here like that so that it's not all bulky down there, which is probably what I should have done before. But if you've got this far, do that. That's a better idea. All right, but I'll do that later because, you know, I don't think you need to watch me do that. Okay, and then I'm just going to pop this one on here. So that's nice and easy. And that's it. I showed you in the last video that I had already made some, done some inserts. So if you didn't see that, go back to that video and I talk about how I made my inserts. So I still need to make some smaller little ones to go in here, but this is it. Oh no, wait, there was one page that I didn't do anything to, which I meant to tell you. I'm going to put this one here. I decided that I'm going to, but then I think because I might put some lace there, it might make it look snazzier. So I'm just going to put some glue on here. This is one of those floral borders. There's a file called Floral Borders. And these are just handy little tuck spots that also cover up a tab or two if you need to. So just pop that on here like that. And I can put an insert in there like so. So this is my album base pages complete. Now you could go to town and put in more flips in here, as many as you want. I'm not going to because I have got I've got a lot of inserts. So I think before I decided to do anything like that, I might put all my inserts in and see how it goes. But it's looking good. So now I just need to do some embellishing and put my inserts in and it's all ready to go. So this is the end of the series. I will also upload a flip through of what this looks like when I finished it. I usually upload that with all of the tutorials so that you can see where you're heading before you even start. Did I say? Yes, these are available in my Etsy store. The link's below. I've put all the links to everything, all the pages I've cut out below. But thank you very much for joining me on this series. If you make this album, I hope you have a good time doing it and following along with the little storyline where we get to the end with the little apothecary cabinet. So cool. All right, take care. Bye for now. Bye.